Everybody, it's Melanie Boylan here from Stomp Social Media Training, and today I want to discuss with you the top 5 frequently asked questions that I've had in the last couple of weeks. Now, it wouldn't be any shock to you that some of these questions have cropped up, particularly as the Trading Online voucher and the Business Continuity voucher has come up and is obviously in great use. But the top greatest question I've been given over the last couple of weeks has been, how much is involved in creating a digital marketing strategy? And I've got to say, it's quite a deep dive. In fact, an awful lot of people don't really appreciate just how involved a full digital marketing strategy creation is. Just to give you some insight, we ultimately, as digital marketers, have to creep into your head and understand your business, and then help you bring out every single good facet about your business and explain it to people in such a way that they want to buy, that they want to learn more, that they want to explore more about your business. Now, there are several different ways that each marketer does this. I've got 3 particular ways of doing it. I just do a straight digital marketing strategy that I just simply give you, but obviously it still involves an awful lot of work. I also do a supported strategy as well, where I work with you and we talk on a weekly basis and tweak it and update it. And then finally I do all of that plus I also manage it for you for a certain time frame. So each business will do it slightly differently, but there's only so many ways you can skin a cat ultimately. But they'll all involve, first of all, doing a social media audit, something like a SWOT analysis, if not an actual SWOT analysis, working out what your customer goals are, and looking at themes, going through your diary, what your plans are. Are you changing your hours? Obviously a lot of shops and businesses are reopening now, so it's going to be quite involved, and quite a lot of chat between you two, Zooms, phone calls, messages. You're really becoming an integral part of the company, essentially, for any certain amount of time frame, be it a week if you're just doing a strategy, but if you're doing a supported strategy like I do, it can sometimes be for months. So it really depends on what kind of service you're going for with the particular business. So that is why a digital marketing strategy can be quite involved and take a lot of time and also be quite expensive. So do shop around when you're looking for a digital marketing strategy. The second question is, where can I find images for business? Well, it's very tempting to find images in a Google search. However, a lot of these images potentially could be copyrighted, and you could conceivably get into quite a bit of trouble if you nick the image. So I would personally try and create fresh new graphics for myself if I can. I use Canva, canva.com, and they have a free platform where you can purchase images for €1 each if you want to, but there's also free images that you can grab as well. Not many, but they are there. Or you can upload your own images. So you can, if you've got a shop or if you've got products, you're so lucky. You can actually remind people what your business is like now. Obviously, a lot of businesses haven't been seen the inside of for months, so you can remind your audience now where you are, what you look like, any changes that you've made, because I know a lot of businesses have upgraded. And obviously if there's new processes now that they've come along. So, there's lots of different things that you can do to take images yourself. And it may be a little while before we can actually get a professional photographer in, which is a shame, but unfortunately true. And then the last place that I would check would be like Pexels, pexels.com, that's Pexels.com. And then there's Shutterstock and iStock, but they're all paid for. But I have to say, some of the professional images on Pexels are so good that previously I've seen these images and I've recreated them in my own business because they're so good and they're so accurate to my business. So even if you don't take any pictures from Pexels or from iStock or Shutterstock, you can have a look at the images there and try and recreate them yourself. They're still yours. They're personal, they're individual, you're not stealing them, but they're useful. And third question, how important are paid ads for business? This is a good question. I know doing paid ads for business can be time consuming, sometimes expensive, and it is conceivably a good investment for your business, especially if you're using the platform properly. So if you were using, as for example, Facebook and Instagram, they've got such a good algorithm these days that they can conceivably get your content, your video, your app, whatever it is, to the right person, as long as you put in the correct images, the correct links, and obviously target the right audience, and put in the correct call to action. It is possible to do. It's not hard, really. I mean, it is initially quite hard when you're looking at it and you think, oh gosh, this is so involved. But with a bit of training, or heck, even following YouTube videos, you can do it. It does take time to understand your audience, and it does take time to understand what they want to see, but you will, over time, get it. So personally, I would prefer to do paid ads alongside other stuff, but there is a huge place for paid ads, especially whilst Facebook and Instagram have got such a strong footing on it and such a strong way of producing good results from their ads. I know why I was asked this question. I don't blog, so what else can I do? Now, I do blog, and I talk about blogging all the time, and apologies for that. I like blogging. I don't find blogging that hard to do, but I know some people do find it extremely hard to do. It's just not them, or it takes too long, or they haven't got enough ideas. So there's lots of different things you can do. You can do a podcast. You can do Facebook Lives. You can become a guest on other people's shows. So if you don't want to set up your own podcast, you can become a guest on somebody else's. You could go on a radio show. They're still looking for people. And I mean, there's lots of different ways. But at the end of the day, blogging for me has worked. So even if you don't do regular blogging, even if you did guest blogging on other people's pages, trust me, it makes a difference, especially if it is a reputable website and you are able to put your backlinks on there back to yours. It raises the profile of your website and it gets traffic to your website. So definitely consider it, please. And the last question, how do I define my audience when creating content? Right, good question. So there is always one set of audience that says they definitely want your business. They will always have your business. They will always accept your business. So you create content for them. Then you create content around the people that would normally buy from you. They probably would buy from you. So you could create content for them and you try and help them travel from being, okay, yes, let's do this, let's think about it, and move them over to people who will actually purchase from you, whether it's services or products. So, and then there's obviously the general range. I mean, I would be very surprised if I ever heard from anybody who was under the age of 30, to be honest, on how to do social media training. I'd be very surprised. I'm sure it will happen one day, but until then I'll reserve judgment, and I think it probably won't happen. So not everybody is your customer, and I can assure you that not everybody is your customer. So you need to define who is definitely going to buy from you, what situation they're in when they want to buy from you, what problem you solve, and then think of all the people around it afterwards that may eventually reach that stage that they need to buy that product from you or that service, and help them on their way. So without getting too detailed and in depth, there's pretty much 3 types of audience. The people who will definitely buy from you because you solve a problem, and people who probably will buy from you at some stage because they're going to come across that problem eventually. And then there's the Joe blogs out there who probably know somebody who needs your product or service. So there's no harm in targeting them with the occasional bit of content or an ad as well. I do hope this has been useful. I know this has been a very long Facebook Live, but hopefully if you have a good listen through all the answers I've given you here today, I've had to be quite general because every business is quite different. But if you've got any specific questions you want to ask me, you're more than welcome to contact me. You can reach me at melanie@stomp.ie, that's STOMP, or you can visit my website at stomp.ie to look at the full range of services and supports that I offer. I hope you have a great afternoon, and I look forward to speaking to you again soon.